Go and make yourself a coffee. Sit down. Because what I am about to tell you is not about football. It is about who actually controls football. And once you know, you cannot unknow it. May 27th, 2015, 6 in the morning, Zurich, Switzerland. The Bourg-au-Lac Hotel. Swiss police entered the corridors of the hotel. First, they knocked on the doors. Then they stopped knocking. 7 men were taken into custody. In their pyjamas, in the early hours of the morning, in one of the most expensive hotels in the world, they were handcuffed. These 7 men were FIFA's top executives. Among them was FIFA's vice president. They were accused of accepting $150 million in bribes over 24 years, for broadcasting rights to North American matches, for the organization of the Africa Cup, for World Cup hosting votes. On the same day, in New York, U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch turned to the cameras and said, "This indictment alleges corruption that is rampant, systemic, and deep-rooted. It spans at least 2 generations of soccer officials who have abused their positions of trust to acquire millions of dollars in bribes and kickbacks." The world was shocked. Football's board of directors had collapsed that morning. And from that collapse, from the ash and the disgrace, a new man emerged. His name was Gianni Infantino, and with him began the biggest transformation in football history. That transformation brought us here, to 2026, to 48 teams, to 3 countries, to 104 matches. But to understand what this transformation really is, we need to go back much further. To 1988, to a phone call. 1998, the United States Soccer Federation was on the edge of bankruptcy. So broke that its executives had moved into a hotel near JFK Airport in New York, scrambling to find sponsors, and this federation submitted a bid to host the World Cup. FIFA was stunned. Did Americans even play football? They had no top-division professional league. The North American Soccer League had folded after 1984. In 1989, the United States played Trinidad and Tobago in World Cup qualifying. There were 3,000 people in the stadium. 3,000. But FIFA saw something. In America, there were stadiums. Large, high-capacity, well-infrastructured stadiums. And FIFA set one condition. Fine, we'll give you the hosting rights, but in return, you will establish a professional league. The United States agreed, and the 1994 World Cup was given to America. And then something happened, something nobody expected. People came. 3,587,538 people, across 52 matches, an average of 68,991 per match. Stadiums ran at 96% capacity, the highest attendance in World Cup history up to that point. And today, it is still the record. Think about that. In a country where football had almost no following, where basketball and American football were worshipped, a survey that year ranked football as the 67th favorite sport in America, one place below tractor pulling. But the tournament started and the stadiums filled. People who didn't know the rules, people who didn't understand offside, people who didn't know when to applaud after a goal. They all came. The atmosphere was electric. At the Germany versus Bolivia match in Chicago, Bill Clinton and Oprah Winfrey were in the stands, in the same row. FIFA learned something that day. There is money in America, enormous, limitless, untapped money. And 32 years later, they came back. But this time with a much bigger plan. To understand this plan, you need to understand Gianni Infantino. Infantino took over FIFA in 2016. He was presented as the clean man after Sepp Blatter's corruption scandal, a Swiss lawyer who had served as UEFA's general secretary. Neat hair, wide smile, fluent speeches. His first act, he put the 48-team proposal on the table. Why 48? journalists asked. He answered, "We want to embrace the world. We need to give more space to Africa, more space to Asia. Let football grow stronger on every continent." Very beautiful words. Arsène Wenger, yes, that Arsenal legend Wenger, now FIFA's chief of global football development, also supported it. "We had to open the World Cup to the world," he said. "But look at these numbers. 32-team format, 64 matches, 48-team format, 104 matches, difference, 40 matches." FIFA earned $5 billion from the 2014 World Cup in Brazil, $7.5 billion from Qatar 2022, expected from 2026, between $11 and $14 billion. So, embracing the world is a beautiful slogan. But the real answer is this: 40 more matches means 40 more broadcasting deals, 40 more advertising revenues, 40 more sponsorship agreements. And for those numbers, there was no better place than America, because the United States is the world's largest broadcasting market. The highest prices for sports rights are paid here, and 1994 had proven it. Americans come to stadiums. So why 3 countries? Why wasn't the United States alone enough? Because 48 teams means 104 matches. 104 matches require 16 stadiums. One country cannot carry that load alone. Canada and Mexico were brought in. The United States hosts 78 matches, Canada and Mexico 13 each. In 2017, the US, Canada and Mexico were each considering individual bids. Then they came together and said, "United as one." In 2018, in Moscow, ironically at the very Congress where the 2018 World Cup draw was being held, the vote took place. 200 countries voted. The North American Alliance received 134 votes. The opponent, Morocco, 65 votes. Yes, the same Morocco that made history in 2022. The same Morocco that pushed Brazil to the limit. They competed for hosting rights in 2018 too, and lost. Now let's pause here and pay attention to something. In 2018, Russia was hosting the World Cup, and that Congress was in Moscow, and that vote was allegedly influenced by dozens of Russian votes. The 2018 and 2022 World Cup hosting votes were separately investigated by Swiss prosecutors. That the World Cup hosting votes were bought and sold was demonstrated in the $150 million bribery case. Against this backdrop, how do you interpret Morocco's 2018 defeat? That question looks for its answer not on the pitch, but in the corridors of courtrooms. Now let's also look at the Infantino matter. Infantino arrived as the clean man. But over time, strange things began to happen. Trump was elected. Infantino appeared at Trump's side. He visited Trump's company, opened a FIFA office at Trump Tower, attended Trump's inauguration, attended Trump's Gaza Peace Summit. And in December 2025, at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., at the 2026 World Cup draw, Infantino walked onto the stage and presented an award that had never existed before in history. The FIFA Peace Prize. The first recipient? Donald Trump. Infantino stepped up and said, "Mr. President, you can always count on the support of the entire football community. For your efforts to bring peace to the world, we present you with this award." Trump came to the microphone and said, "This is truly one of the great honors of my life." One detail: the existence of this award had only been announced 3 weeks before it was given. Exactly 1 month had passed since the Nobel Peace Prize went not to Trump, but to Venezuelan democracy campaigner Maria Corina Machado. FIFA's council and vice presidents had not been consulted or involved in the creation of this award in any way. Gary Lineker, England's legendary striker, now a journalist, summarized it this way: "We call him Sycophant Eno now. Sycophant means someone who flatters powerful people for personal gain. Infantino plus sycophant equals sycophantino. And a human rights organization filed a complaint with FIFA's ethics committee. FIFA's statutes require political neutrality. This award openly violates that rule, they said. Infantino's response? Objectively, he deserves it. Now let's look at the ticket scandal. When 2026 World Cup tickets were announced, the football world was stunned. Group stage ticket, $500. Final ticket, $1,500. That is the cheapest final ticket. With dynamic pricing, some seats reached $32,970. And on the official FIFA resale site, someone listed a final ticket for $2 million. FIFA received 150 million ticket requests. But the overwhelming majority of those requests did not come from real supporters. Speculation, scalping, corporate bulk buying. Real fans cannot access tickets. Supporters coming from outside the country, blocked both by astronomical ticket prices and by the Trump administration's visa policies, cannot come. Sepp Blatter, the former patron of the system he himself built. The man who was not arrested that night, but was later banned for ethics violations. In February of this year, in an interview, he said, "These two men, Trump and Infantino, are there to make as much money as possible from the World Cup. But that was never the goal of a World Cup. My only advice to fans, stay away from the USA." The man who called his own creation a slot machine. If you're still here, if you're watching FIFA's great game alongside me, you know what to do. But after saying all of this, I need to tell you one more thing. And this may be the most important thing. When you step onto the pitch, when the ball starts moving, everything changes. Curaçao, population 150,000, a small island in the Caribbean, playing in a World Cup for the first time in their history. Germany is waiting in their group. For Curaçao's players, this moment is as big as the moment Pelé scored his first goal in 1958. Jordan, from the Middle East, a country that has never seen a World Cup. Now they are here. Uzbekistan, Cape Verde. These are real. FIFA expanded this tournament for money. That is real. Infantino invented a prize for Trump. That is real. Tickets reached astronomical prices. That is real. In 2015, hotel raids were carried out. Executives were handcuffed. That is real. But in 1994, everyone was skeptical too. Americans don't know football. The stadiums will be empty. There will be no atmosphere. And 3.5 million people came. That record has never been broken. And this year, with 48 teams, 3 countries, 104 matches, perhaps again something unexpected will happen. A team, a player, a night that breaks all the calculations. Football always does this. It moves between big money and small miracles. FIFA chose the money, but the miracle always comes unplanned. I will be watching this tournament from my taverna. Not every match. No human being can watch that many matches in one lifetime. But the important ones. And when Curaçao steps onto the pitch, I will look into the eyes of those players who came from an island. Because in those eyes, there are no FIFA calculations. No photos of Infantino with Trump. No ticket prices. Just football. The field tells no lies. Infantino lies. Blatter lied. Money lies. But the field does not. Now you tell me, was the 48-team decision the right one? Is FIFA using football for money, or is it genuinely embracing the world? And how do you interpret the Peace Prize Infantino gave to Trump? I will read every comment.